Hi, I'm Doug from Dynamic Computing, and welcome to episode 102 of 10-Minute Amiga Retrocast. This week it's going to be something a little bit different. Many months ago, I was talking to the guys at Sacramento Amiga Computer Club, Jerry Gray up there and the guys, and they said they had a bunch of software, extra software in a storage unit that they wanted to move out. So I made them an offer, they accepted it, and just a week ago I got the final shipment of the software in, and I wanted to share with you some of the cool things that I got in the package. I think you'll like some of them. Of course, you know my channel, not a huge games channel. There are some games that came with it. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that came with it. There's some cool things, but there's a lot of great productivity software that I have that I'm really excited about. Some of it I already own copies of, legit copies. Some of it's brand new to me, so let's take a look. First off, we've got a nice word processor. Final Writer's one of the best ones and one of the longest supported word processors for the Amiga. They kept this going right up through, I think, 1997, 1998. They were still making new versions of this. Now, this is one of the older versions, but the box actually has some of the newer ones in it, and there are some addendums that came with it up to Final Writer 97, so I'm very excited about that. I already had a copy of it. I think... was it one of the Amiga packs came with a disc copy of Final Writer, but this will be the first time I've got the full manual and everything. Excited about that. Now, ProWrite is one of my favorite word processors. I've used this since 1988, and I got all the new versions through the mail. That when every time they sent a new version out, I got it in the mail, so I'm up to version like 3.3, which is what this has in it. But I've got another copy of ProWrite. Fantastic word processor, actually with some really good features. Runs on every Amiga I've ever thrown at it. This is something we're going to be experimenting with a lot. I'm going to be doing a show on desktop publishing for the Amiga relatively soon, and Professional Page is one of the greatest desktop publishing programs for the Amiga. It talks in PostScript format just fine. It'll talk with any PostScript printer and does a fantastic job of laying things out. You can do some absolutely beautiful manuscripts with this, and we're going to be playing around with this. Now, believe it or not, PageStream is still supported on the Amiga. The guy who makes it still occasionally puts out new versions of it for Windows and still has support, and you can still purchase the Amiga version. I've got the latest version of PageStream I got from him. I'm going to be doing a full review on it in the next couple of weeks or months, but I've got an older version of PageStream with the manual here, which is really cool. Sticking with the publishing side of things, Professional Draw is a professional vector-based drawing program for doing line art and things like that. Beautiful artwork that you can do with this one. All of it vector-based, which is absolutely fantastic. I owned this and used this back in the day and made some fun stuff on it. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to do a project for the Amiga Art Contest in Professional Draw. Try my hand at that. Sticking with the productivity side of things, we've got MaxiPlan Plus, which is a spreadsheet program for the Amiga, actually a fairly powerful spreadsheet program. I also have the discs and manual for MaxiPlan Plus 4 that was sent with it. Those are in a Ziploc bag. We're going to take a look at the unbox software in just a minute, but I'll have some fun with this. Oxy's TurboText is one of the best text editors that was made for the Amiga back in the day. It's a full-featured, text editor for doing programming in, writing scripts, things like that. And believe it or not, sometimes these things used to come in full-size boxes. It's crazy. Also got a really nice collection of clip art for the Amiga. This is all vector-based, so this will work just beautifully. It's EPS files. This will work just beautifully in programs like Professional Draw and Professional Page and PageStream. I'll be able to import these vector graphics just beautifully. We'll have some fun with that. And fonts. I've got discs worth of fonts. Zuma fonts were some of the most popular ones back in the day. You guys have probably at least heard of those, but all kinds of cool typefaces for use in desktop publishing and things like that. Now, I have probably discs with 80 or 100 different fonts on it that I've never even put in my Amiga that I bought 15, 18 years ago. So I'll add these to the collection and build up a nice big collection of Amiga fonts. Now here is a true treasure, an original copy of Deluxe Paint before it was even called Deluxe Paint 1, 2, or 3. This is one of the original ones from back in the maybe 86, maybe 87, somewhere in that range. It still has all of the discs, still has the manual, information about Deluxe Paint. This will be fun to use on my Amiga 1000 just for fun. Now CanDo is an awesome program. I haven't done much with it in the past, but it's an authoring program, much like Amiga Vision or maybe HyperCard in the Mac back in the day. And it can do some absolutely incredible things. Not only does it have a graphics-based interface, but apparently there's also a really powerful scripting interface in here, an AREX interface, so you can really interface this with a lot of programs and do some really, really powerful utilities with this. So I think this is worth its own episode right here, looking into CanDo. Sticking with the same theme, this has a horrible, horrible font on it. I find this actually very difficult to read. It's Foundation, but the way that they did the font on here, it just makes it difficult to read. You know, it's actually coming out better on the camera than it does in person. I can read it better looking at the camera than I can in person. But Foundation is scripting software and authoring software, hypermedia, just like Amiga Vision. And this one is made by Impulse, which they did an absolute ton of productivity, graphics-based, video-based software back in the day. So this will be kind of fun to experiment with too. Now comes the fun stuff here. I've got a couple of titles here that are video software. These are designed for making titles for your videos back in the day when we did this on VHS and connected them together with a Genlock. And so I've got Pro Video Gold character generator, really, really powerful and professional title editing. So I'm going to try and use some of this in my actual videos. I'll use this maybe in conjunction with the video toaster or with my Genlock on my Amiga 1000 and actually use some of this software to make some titles for some of my future videos. Should be kind of fun. This next one is TV Show from the Zuma group, and this is, it does some titling, but it also does things like cool transitions, supports graphics, supports audio, even supports the say command for making little presentations that are designed to integrate with your desktop video. So I'm going to be using this one along with my maybe Amiga 2000 and my video toaster and maybe my Amiga 1000 and its Genlock to make some cool little things for video in the future. Going along with that from the Zuma group is TV Text Professional. Now this one is designed as a TV text program for creating text to put on your videos. The nice big fonts that we always used to have on our VHS tapes, happy birthday Cynthia, that kind of thing, but on a more professional level. It works with the high resolution modes on the Amiga and apparently does a really, really fantastic job. And it integrates right with TV Show that I showed you just a little while ago. So I think we'll have some fun with this. Maybe we'll do a program just on the Amiga 1000 and Genlocking things with this software. Here's one you've probably heard of in the past if you've been in the Amiga community for a long time. This is Aegis Software Lights Camera Action, and it got a lot of traction back in the day as one of the early multimedia programs for integrating things into presentations, kind of like a PowerPoint type thing or HyperCard or Amiga Vision type thing. Special effects, music, video, supports ham mode. None of this stuff so far has been AGA. So it'll be fun to make a little presentation with this and do a show all about lights and camera action. Sticking with the video theme, Deluxe Video, which, I don't know, never been excited about this one. I read reviews about it back in the past, and it seems so entry level. It just never really excited me, but it'll be interesting to play with it, It's got all the discs in it. It's got the manual in it. It'll be interesting to see just what deluxe video can do, but it's kind of more like a 1987, 1988 type of video program, where some of the others are more early 90s, so they're a little bit more advanced. Now this I'm looking forward to. This is Draw 4D Plus. It is a 3D rendering program. You can see from the box it does a pretty darn good job, but looks like it's a really nice one, handles resolution up to 1024 by 1024. So hopefully I'll be able to do some nice high resolution 3D images and rendering, which might be kind of fun to do. I know it's not going to be any Lightwave 3D, but I've always heard things quite positive about Draw 4D Plus and or Draw 4D Pro, and I'm excited to try it out. Big old honking list of features on here too. So that should be a fun one to experiment with. So the productivity software, a lot of it came in the original boxes with the original discs and manuals, which is cool. I absolutely love it. But some of it came in Ziploc bags, luckily with the discs and manuals intact, just not with the cool boxes. I'll show you a few of those. Softwood File, which is a database program. Got that, and it's got all the discs with it, so that should be pretty exciting to keep a track of users group lists and patrons and things like that. Transwrite, which is a word processor. This was actually made by Gold Disc back in '89. I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. So we'll see if that's a good word processor. I mentioned MaxiPlan 4. I showed you the MaxiPlan Pro box, but I also got the discs and the manual for MaxiPlan 4, which is, I believe, the latest version. This one I'm kind of excited to check out. This is Image Master. Kind of hard to see with the reflection sometimes, but this is from Black Belt Systems. The people that did the Ham E, that 256 color interface box for our ECS machines that allowed them to display in 256 colors. So this might actually be kind of cool. I'll add this to my tools like Image Effects and Art Department Professional that I use all the time and see if it's a good image processing program. Now here's a classic, DigiPaint 3. This is done by our friends at NewTek. Got the discs and everything. This is one of the premier 4096 color ham programs, DigiPaint. And this came included with the DigiView, and I even have two of the little red, green, blue filters for the original DigiView. Now I own a DigiView already, and this didn't come with a DigiView, but it's cool that I have actually more of the filters. And we need to do a show on DigiView, we really do. And I'll do it with Deluxe Paint 3. DigiPaint 3. The Graphics Studio, which is another early painting program that works with 512K of memory. It's from 1987. Should be pretty interesting. I remember hearing about it back in the day, but it kind of fell by the wayside when Deluxe Paint just steamrolled over everything. Fantavision, I used to use this back in the day. You could make some really cool and really long animations with Fantavision because it just used things like color cycling and did, kept the background intact and just changed a couple of things moving on the screen. You can make some really wicked animations with this, so we'll play with that. Imagine 2.0, I think I have a newer version of this. I think I have like 4 point something, but it's a nice sculpting and 3D image ray tracing program. It was out before Lightwave. More image processing, which you guys know that I love. This is Pixmate. I do remember hearing about this back in the day, but again, I think it fell by the wayside with some of the bigger ones that came out later on. Gold Disc Movie Setter, great little program just for making fun little things, fun little movie type things. 3 copies of Marauder disc copying program. Fantastic for all you rotten, stinking pirates out there that pirated Amiga software and destroyed the industry. Thanks a lot, guys. Now this one, Mastering the CLI. This one is expressly created for learning all about the CLI and the shell. Nothing else of interest about this particular program here. Oh wait, it wasn't in the frame. Sorry about that. I don't know what I was thinking. Perverts. Now, of course, what's an Amiga without games? And you guys know I don't do a ton on games on my show, but I do love games on the Amiga, and I play them fairly frequently. And this package came with some really cool ones, many of them boxed. Let's take a look. Some of these boxes are damaged, but I think with a little bit of maybe tape or a little bit of glue, I can patch them up, make them a little more reasonable. This is Puffy's Saga. I've heard of it. I've never played it. I heard it's a pretty good game. Sounds like some kind of drug game or something like that. But Puffy's Saga, we'll check that out and see how it is. Another one with a dinged up box, Bill's Tomato Game from Signosis. So meet Terry and Tracy, an everyday walking, talking tomatoes caught up in in a totally unfeasible tale of rivalry, evil squirrels, and mystical lands. Okay, let's check out Bill's Tomato Game. One of my favorites, and I know that that John Schaller, Boat, as you guys know him on the Amigos, I know he absolutely loves Dungeon Crawler, so I know he will love the fact that I have this expansion pack for Dungeon Master. If only it was an AGA, John. Yeehaw! Here in America, we have NASCAR. We don't have no fancy Formula One cars. We got real American cars. That's my American accent there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But NASCAR should be an interesting game. Never played it on the Amiga. Got some absolutely beautiful graphics. We'll see if it's any good. Now, this was very possibly one of the first games that I got on my Amiga. I really think it may have been the first. Return to Atlantis from Electronic Arts. It was so cool. It's an adventure game. You're actually going underwater and you're controlling this little underwater submarine, and you're diving down there yourself. You got lasers. You're looking for treasure. You're trying to defeat this evil corporation. You have to go and talk to people on this island, and all of the people have their voices synced with the video, with the Amiga's say command and these crazy accents. It is hilarious, and it is wonderful. And if you guys have not tried Return to Atlantis, man, it's a great game. Some of the graphics on it there. I think the guys on the Amigos did a review of this one not too long ago. This is Railroad Tycoon from Microprose. Should be pretty interesting if you like simulation games, which they're all right. Couple of Bullfrog titles here. Here's Populous, which is of course a fantastic Amiga game. This is one of the classics here. And then I've got Populous: The Promised Lands. Now this one says ST/Amiga, so we'll see what kind of discs are actually in here. They have it in what looks like a CD case, which I don't know how to open. Ha 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 ha! Look at it! It opens like that. How clever. And, oh my goodness. The disc actually says Amiga and Atari ST. How do they do that? How do they put two of them on one disc? I'm going to have to check that out and see. Now this I'm looking forward to. I love golf games on a computer. Back to the Atari 2600 Golf that I still play to this game, to modern golf games. I just got the new Mario Golf on the Switch last week. It's an awesome game. I love it, but I love good computer golf simulations. And this is PGA Tour Golf, and graphics are absolutely beautiful. Looking forward to booting this one up and trying it out. Those are the ones that came in the actual boxes. I have a lot more that came in Ziploc bags with the manuals, which is perfectly fine. They're not as cool to display, but they should still be fun to play. Flight Simulator 2. So I know that Neil from RMC enjoys a good flight simulator game. I just picked this up also for the Commodore 64 a couple of months ago. So I need to do a head-to-head of Flight Simulator 2 on the Commodore 64 versus the Amiga and see what the differences are. Could be fun. Sinbad, Throne of the Falcon. That'll be a fun one. I've heard things about this, and here it's a good game. Julius Erving and Larry Bird, one-on-one basketball. That's an American sport if I've ever seen one before. So, yeah, it'll be fun. Death Sword, Max Out. I don't know. Never heard of it before, but it's got some cool graphics on there. We'll see what this one's about. Could be interesting. Wrath of the Demon is another cool one. Got the discs for it right here. But I remember playing this one back in the day. fantastic Amiga game. Always got great reviews. We're going to try this one out. Tell us about the rocket pack or the girl will suffer. I love this game, except the part where you have to take off from the ground. That way too hard. They should have made that 10 times easier, taking off with your rocket pack. But Rocket Ranger, absolutely one of the classics. Great digitized speech on there. Fun story. I've played this hours and hours and hours on my Amiga 500, and I'm going to play it again now. Here's another good simulation. Balance of Power. That's a nice one. This one's a classic. Weird Dreams. I remember the Amigo's review on this. I'd never played it, but I remembered reading about it back in the probably late 80s, early 90s. Trippy game. And I tried it out a couple of months ago after I watched the episode that the Amigos did. And yeah, it's crazy. It's wacky. Red Lightning, an operational game of World War III. Sounds, scary. Now this one, kind of hard to read. This is the Killing Game Show. This is a Psygnosis title. And this was one of my favorite games on the Amiga. I absolutely love this game. And I'm looking forward to trying it out again. Yay! An ant simulation game. I can't wait to boot up my Amiga and pretend I'm an ant. Yay! Now, Myth on the Amiga. This is another one I've never played, but look at this. Comes with a comic book. How can you beat that? Comes with its own comic book. So even if the game stinks, I'll still have fun reading the included comic. I still remember the old Atari Force comics that came with a couple of the Atari 2600 games. Good times. Now suddenly, 90% of you have Into the Wonderful going through your head right now. I know you do. I know I do. This is a fun game. I've played this several times. This is actually the first time I've owned it, which is kind of odd. I didn't own it back in the day. I didn't get it till WHD load stuff in probably 2018. Fantastic game. Love Gods. Beautiful game that really shows off what the Amiga is capable of. Now this could be interesting considering my interest in golf games on computers. This is Jack Nicklaus Unlimited Golf and Course Design. So you can design your own courses on the Amiga and play your own actual courses. So, could be interesting. Maybe I'll do a show on that. There were a couple of other miscellaneous programs that they sent along too, but those are the main brunt of the really cool ones. And I mean, right there, I'm thinking that's 10 episodes worth of cool things to check out right there. So expect to see more from some of these programs in the future as I go over maybe tutorials in PageStream, tutorials in Professional Page, and have maybe a crack at a couple of these games just to see what it's like on some of these games. Now this package that was sent down at the same time that I got last weekend also included like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Amiga magazines. We're talking lots of American ones, a couple European ones, almost a full collection of Amazing Computing, which is absolutely wonderful. I'll go over those at a different time as soon as I get around to actually, opening the boxes and looking and seeing what I got, but I'm excited about that. Big thanks to my friends at Sacramento Amiga Computer Club for sending those to me, selling those to me. Really exciting. These are the guys that host Amiwest, of which I will be there in October, mid-October this year. Amiwest will be live again in Sacramento, California. If anyone here in the United States can make it out there, go on the Amiwest website, which I will list right down here. It has all the dates and times. I'll be one of the people speaking there and having a lot of fun with it. It's a great show. Huge thanks to my patrons who you see scrolling down the screen, superimposed over some cool images from Amiga Art Contest 2020. Don't forget, Amiga Art Contest 2021 is in full swing. Take a look at my website, which I will post in the description, for more details on how to enter your cool stuff into Amiga Art Contest. And thanks to my fantastic patrons. So yeah, I thought it'd be interesting just to take a look at some of the cool stuff that I got in on this latest batch of Amiga finds that I have. I love collecting the old stuff. I've got a whole shelf over here, that way, full of Amiga boxed software. I have drawers full of software that don't have the manuals with it, but just have the actual original discs. Stuff I really need to go through. Most of it's archived already, but there may be some things that aren't archived that I'll have to archive for posterity's reasons. Thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. Please comment down below. Tell me the story about which of these pieces of software you wanted to use or did use back in the day or have always wanted, and make me an offer on something. If there's something you really want, let me know. We'll see what we can do. But until next time, this is Doug from 10 Minute Amiga Retrocast, signing out.